force. So Kylar Alice can sit comfortably on that low defense and be fine with it.
Okay, well, we're going into Small Brawlhaven for game number 1. We've seen, of course, the signature kits on both sides be very fatal on this map.
Kylar Alice already picking up that sword, and they're going straight into the handwork. The GCN light's going to come out, and it's not going to find a target, and he gets punished with a 3-hit immediately. Now, I mentioned that he has low defense here. Ooh, big GC down sig.
Yes.
That's going to be the KO.
Really good edge guarding coming out from Kylar Alice. That gravity cancel down sig really put Dummy in an awkward spot, and of course that ground pound to guarantee it.
I mentioned the low defense, but it's when you're on Brawlhaven, everyone has low defense. The wall is so small, and the Qatar's already doing a mad work for him. That's a huge read.
Yeah, really nice. Would have loved to see that recovery pick up, but Kylar Alice swinging back on the Dummy second stock. Could go over to the sword for the finisher. Yup.
That's going to be evened up the stocks from Dummy, only taking a bit of damage there from Kylar with that little axe string. He's keeping the Qatars in hand. The raw recovery is going to go into that downlight. And what's he looking for now? The weapon spawn's going to be in his favor. Okay, he's going for weapon starve. Generally, I'm used to seeing Asury's go in with the Qatars for the damage build-up and then sword for the finishers. Well, as you say that, he gets a bit more damage from himself. That's a downlight Sarah going to rack up a bit more. End light weapon throw. Kylar is starving for a weapon here. Like you mentioned, that weapon starving is very strong on the Asuri. He has 2 weapons. She has 2 weapons that are very good at racking up damage on an unarmed opponent. But the sword is finally going to come through for Kylar. Downlight Sarah. A little too late, though. Dummy, with the weapon starve, actually steals the stock advantage over Kylar Alice. Dummy not looking shook at all. You already mentioned that it's not a good record for him. He's proven everyone wrong right now with the lead on Kylar Alice, only in the orange of that second stock. He picks the sword back up, and we're seeing more starvation come through. There it is. Guitar's in hand again. Kylar Alice is desperate for a weapon. The most damage he's gotten in like the past 2 stocks was like a downlight ground pound, which is optimal for unarmed, but still, you're looking for a lot more right now. That was a really cute side stick, middle of the stage for really no options. The axe is going to come through finally, and he's going to... That was very clean. The dare into the GC side light. That was tricky. You don't see that too often in the unarmed game, but it is enough to bring Kylar Alice back into this, because he was starting to get beat out. Axe and light into axe and light. Trying to even this damage back up. You see he's just in the orange there. He's not going to get that Katara read, Dummy. The Nair juggles. And nice axe. Axe on high force. This is the weapon to do it if he wants to bring this game back. And you can see he's landed a lot of hits in the row. Another end light's going to come through and even up the damage. They're both in the orange. That GC down sig, a little risky, but not going to find its mark. And he's getting the hits with the weapon toss as well. The offstage not working out very often for Dummy. But a turnaround GC neutral sig from Dummy. Kylar Alice was not ready for that. Dummy he's scary with it. That came out of nowhere. You can see the damage rack up on those charts there. He was trying to bring that back for himself. That last stock from Kylar was very long, but Dummy had his own plans with that edge guard. Baits him down, gets the GC end sig, knows he can't make it back, but he can't take you with him, and Kylar Alice ends up falling first. And we're seeing this replay. Dummy, he gets the wall touch, and look how far he was fading away. I was worried after that ground pound, but he was waiting. That was all a bait. Kylar Alice comes down with the ground pound and a perfect punish. Beautiful, beautiful work from Dummy. That's game 1 for him. That's 1-0. You were kind of slacking on him, asking me what I thought. No, I'm not slacking. I just give the numbers, all right? I said the stats. 10-2 in favor of Kylar Alice. He must be scared. That's true, but... Does he look scared to you? I guess not. Kylar Alice is going to make the swap, though, as he goes to Koji, something a little bit more classic. He'll keep that sword from the Jala. No, I feel like the Koji into Asuri matchup is definitely an older one, more well-known. The Bo into Qatars, it's always been kind of a question matchup. I feel like a lot of people go, Qatars beat Bo, and then some people will go, but Bo covers that diagonal over that Qatar there. It has its own options. We're going to see what it means to these players right here, how that matchup's going to go as we get into Mammoth Fortress. I mean, speaking of diagonals, though, that Tatami mat, that Bo down signature is a really good tool for shutting down a lot of the approach tools of the Qatar kit. He's already getting these sword hits in. He picks up the Qatars, and Kylar Alice, we're playing the same game we were playing last game with the unarmed starvation. Beautiful Qatar strength is going to come through, and a wake up. I like that. Unfortunately for Dummy, he wasn't able to deny weapons too long. Offstage opportunity. Kylar Alice is playing it out. Surprised he went for that ground pound there. Yep, he wants to keep on this offstage. He thinks he can actually get the W on Dummy this time, even though Dummy was so clean with that GCN sig. Kylar Alice says, I'm not that scared. I saw what you did last time. I'm going to come down this time and make it my win. He comes for that edge guard with the ground pound. Doesn't find it. I like that fast fall to get in position for the recovery. He knows that that's the safer option. Put him in hit stun, get the chase dodge. Now they're kind of just feeling each other out. Dummy trying to move in with the sword. He's looking for that KO. When you pick up the sword on Asuri, you're looking for your KO. The Katars, you rack up that damage, KO with the sword. Kylar Alice also looking for that KO. You saw how high that bow and arrow sent him. He's not doing too hard on that stock. The stairs are going to send him on the right.
Okay. Weapon toss not going to connect. Kylar Alice still can't finish it. He's hanging around. There is a weapon on the left side.
Ooh. That was a GC side light that did not connect, and down light there. Maybe a recovery would have KO'd there. He goes for the dare instead and gets punished on the follow-up by Kylar Alice taking the first stock.
Yeah, I think he was trying to get that extra tap of damage right. D-light dare into the recovery, but didn't hit the dare just right, so he tried to pick up that side air as a last-minute hit.
Right, definitely an angle off there. The Kylar Alice has the bow in hand. He's already looking to build up damage lead for himself. Downlight recovery is going to take that stock away from him.
You know, clean pickup coming out from Dummy. We'll keep this one even. He's going over to the Katars. And again, the Katars against Unarmed have been so good, but Kylar Alice picks up a sword immediately.
Kylar Alice fights his way back into the stage with the GC sidelight. That's the thing you see a lot of sword players do. They'll use the sidelight to make space, make room for themselves, and get a follow-up when they go back on stage. You can see he's kind of moving around right now with the sidelights. That's 3 in a row. Nair's going to be the first punish from Dummy in a while. He comes back on stage again, switches the bow. Dummy going for the big read, doesn't find it.
Yeah, I was expecting Kylar Alice to dodge through. Oh, the tatami mat not going to hit the spot dodge of Dummy, but still, he's getting this damage onto Dummy's second stock.
Dummy this time finds himself without the weapon. He does pick up the sword right as I say that. Maybe I'm helping him out. Dashes from the right to Kylar, to the right from Kylar Alice. Gets the Sair, but now he's looking for that edge guard. That dare's going to be perfectly placed. Weapon starting from Kylar Alice. He wants the bow in hand. Is he going to clear the other one? Nope. Dummy gets it. It's the Katars.
Was that down sig repositioning? Was that why he was doing it? That was kind of an odd down sig, but it works out.
Another sidelight. Goes for the chase Sair just to see if he can end that stock, and it's going to cost him a lot. Ooh, beautiful.
And Kylar Alice still gets back. He's just getting this damage onto Dummy's last stock, and Dummy is kind of hoping for a lucky neutral sig here, and Kylar Alice is keeping him on that wall.
Downlight from Dummy. He's not going to find much more than that. That charge side sig that a lot of Koji players like to go for, and you saw Dummy was not rocking with it. Runs off stage immediately.
Yeah, Dummy, definitely no stranger to that matchup, is not falling for it. It's such a good punish on just spot dodges, and Kylar Alice doesn't get the wall touch. Opportunity here, if Dummy can get the quick KO, could steal this one away.
That's right. Dummy playing at a big deficit here, but it's never over when you have these Katars in hand. You can see he's already trying to find himself some damage. Goes for the Sair, but he's not going to find more than that, and Kylar Alice gets his own Sair. He's knocking him far away from him.
He didn't get the read there with that down air, but he's starting to get more damage.
Through. These downlights are just going to rack it up the Nair, build some space. Weapon throw from Kylar Alice is going to switch out to the bow, and you can see Dummy is fiending for it. He gets the dodge, but does not find the punish he's looking for. He's waiting for that weapon to spawn.
Got the sword. He knows he's got damage built up onto Kylar Alice. Wouldn't take too much. I don't think a downlight recovery would finish off for Dummy just yet.
Ooh, that was a beautiful Sair coming out from Kylar Alice. He sees Dummy going for that landing and immediately runs for it. He was not letting him touch the ground there. Kylar Alice with the Game 2 victory, and the damage was very much in his favor.
That's going to tie it up 1 apiece. Kylar Alice, the switch over to the Koji, but it wasn't as confident as I would have expected from Kylar Alice. I was expecting a little bit more of a lead, but that second stock kind of snuck away from him.
Right. Dummy definitely put in the work on that last stock. Even with the sword in hand and the Katars in hand, he saw a lot of damage coming through. And that's what Katar players want, right? They want to go for those huge strings, those dodge punishes. I think we would have saw a different game if he actually got that tatami mat punish we saw from that GC. But nonetheless, Dummy didn't really have it in him for that finisher. He goes for the downlight, doesn't find it. Kylar Alice, another pick for us.
Yeah, he is currently hovering the Nash. This is so interesting, not the Nash pick specifically, but Australia as a whole. They're like taking their time between matches. I'm so used to like North America where they'll run through matches.
Yeah, I mean, I'm North American myself. I'm telling you, they get a match and it's immediately all right. Next one. Don't pause it unless someone wants to close the game for a second. It's next match. Start it up. I've seen a lot of casters. It just goes from one match and the next thing you know, they're back in the next one. You don't even get time to talk about the last one. The replays are still going on in the background. It's quick there.
I'm very used to that. Australia, given a lot of breathing time, maybe thinking about it, kind of reassessing what happened. It is difficult for Dummy if they're trying to reassess because Kylar Alice keeps swapping it up. If he's hovering this Nash, there's no carryover to the Koji or even the previous pick.
Definitely. It feels like you're losing a lot of what you learned from the last matchup. And to be fair, Dummy, he has that other pick we saw on the stats chart. We saw the Ragnar. It came out before. Do you think he's going to pull it out now that we see Kylar Alice hovering different things?
I don't think so. I feel like with the with the way he's playing the Asuri, he's doing it right. Like he's just got the solid game plan, build up the damage, swap over to the sword, finish off, back to the guitars, weapon starve in between whenever he has the opportunity. I don't think he needs to swap over to the Ragnar just yet, unless he wants to go heavy weapon to heavy weapon, which could be a strat, but I don't think that's what he's looking for right now.
Right, definitely when you're looking to switch, you're looking to mix up something in your gameplay that was lacking before, right? I mean, unless you're Kylar Alice, you're just going all over the place. But Dummy, especially if you're going from Asuri Ragnar, maybe it's that kill potential, those signatures that you want to change up. But I don't think he's looking for that. I think he's, there it is, going to stick with the Asuri. Yep. He's been doing a lot of damage to those guitars, and the signatures are helping him a lot. You saw the first game. The second game also saved him. That GCN stick back to the stage gave a lot of room, a lot of pressure off of him.
Definitely some good moves in that signature kit. We're seeing Kylar Alice not go into the Nash that we were seeing hovered. Instead, it's the Akuma, that Val crossover. So he's going to be bringing out gauntlets and keeping the sword, which kind of makes sense. That's what he played in the last two characters.
Right. We're back on the Brawlhalla. This is where Dummy took his first W. So he's looking to run it back on the home turf this time. He had the bans. Left him with nothing but these options. He's on the Akuma after all. Akuma mirrors the signatures of Val, so we're going to see a lot of these gauntlet plays and a lot of these signatures come through.
You know, the Akumas have been getting a lot of love lately. Gauntlet players feeling real confident. We saw a lot of gauntlets in 2s last weekend, but right now, it's the Qatar play from Dummy.
Those are the signatures I was talking about. That GC N6 is going to cost him a lot as Dummy gets a 3-piece on the Qatar's damage. It's finally evening up. Dummy has Kylar right off stage. The Sarah is going to be the punish for that.
Ooh, going for the read with that neutral signature. Kylar Alice able to get away from it. Weapon toss, and again, Dummy's got the game plan. Build up the damage, go over to the sword.
Sidelight is not going to quite find it, but that gauntlet weapon is quick. He gets the Sarah and knocks him off stage. Kylar looking real smooth with these signatures. I mentioned that the Akuma is a big sig heavy character. The downlight recovery is going to take the first stock off Dummy, and he's coming back hot with Qatar's primed. Kylar Alice clears the board, keeps the sword.
Yeah, I'm very used to the Akumas out there using signatures to finish off a little bit earlier because, again, not the highest strength character. Generally, you'll see him put into the strength stat to bring it up to 5, but the SIGs are really what keeps him in the game a lot of times.
Yeah, I mean, Akuma does have that trade-off, and we're seeing it here. That low force made up by the defense and the speed, and he's using it to run laps and keep this stock active.
Yo, a good dodge up from Dummy. Needs to punish that N-Sig, but still... Weapon toss, that's not enough to finish off the stock. Kylar Alice is just getting damaged now.
Yep, damage for days. The recovery is going to add up even more. He's looking for another signature. The down stick is going to set him up. Kylar Alice, oh, you're off stage, but you want to send him down there. But that is a lot of damage racked up. Downlight Sarah is finally going to take that stock off.
Yeah, Dummy finishes it up, but did take a decent amount of damage. But opportunity here to starve out weapons. That's what works so well in game number 1.
Right, right. Qatar's in hand. And we've seen him do a lot of work with this Qatar. I know I keep mentioning it, but it's been really amazing seeing him get these reads and the downlights off. He's finding one downlight there, doesn't find the follow-up dare into Sarah from Kylar Alice. He's going to knock him so far.
Oh, and the down air coming out from Kylar Alice. Now he's got a massive lead over Dummy. It's going to take a big offstage engagement at this point.
Man, I've been noticing it. Kylar's edge guards are near perfect. Like, there's a couple instances where we see him fail, or Dummy wants to get back to the stage with an N-Sig and he fights his way through. But Kylar, on the for a lot of the time, has been getting these spot on. We saw with the bow dares and the on the sword dare right there. He's been consistent with it. Dummy finding some damage for himself finally, trying to even up this game if he can. The sword in hand. Kylar Alice left unarmed. Another dare for Dummy. Can he go for his own edge guard here?
Nice. Not over just yet. Ground pound to finish it off. And
Beautiful
Dummy
work.
is going to bring it back. A lot of that, again, is the offstage and the weapon start. Kylar Alice threw away his weapon, and Dummy was taking full advantage.
Dummy has the Qatars in hand. Kylar does still have his sword, so he's not left unarmed as we've been seeing. But Dummy, I mean, we saw him bring it very close in the last game, so maybe he can do it again here. He is on that deep red that you like to have as a sword player, and that N6 is going to do it for him.
A lot of N6 being thrown out from Kylar Alice. He had the opponent in the red, so it makes sense, but it is kind of goofy. Like, when you look at the numbers at the end of it, that's 15 signatures thrown out by Kylar Alice.
Akuma. It's 15-3 on the sig count. Akuma loves signatures. Both weapons. We didn't see a lot of gauntlets. I feel like we saw a good amount of gauntlets. You can see the damage right there on each weapon. So more sword than gauntlets for sure. But when it comes to it, the signatures are doing a lot for him here. We saw multiple N-Sig connections. We saw the down sig to punish the recovery, and that did a bunch of damage. So we even saw a couple side sigs back on stage. Akuma, that character that, you know, the 3 versions of that signature, off stage, back on stage, and on the wall. We didn't see the on the wall yet. Maybe if he sticks on it, we'll get that chance.
I mean, he's currently locked in with the Akuma, so we could easily see him show all the different variants of that side signature on the sword. But Man, what an odd flip from Kylar Alice. Like it feels like a different playstyle coming out from this Akuma.
Right. We're back into the map bans, and Dummy, he still wants to leave the Brawlhaven and the Mammoth Fortress open. I feel like he's kind of looking for these flat maps. I say that he bans Brawlhaven. He wants these maps probably for the guitar strings and the options. You know, when you have a lot of platforms, that gives them a lot of opportunity to get out of the way, and it makes your guitar there a little. Sometimes it goes through the platform, sometimes it doesn't. It's a little iffy. It's a little lack of consistency there. So he's looking for the consistent maps. He's looking for his own playground, and we're gonna end up on Apocalypse this time, map we haven't seen just yet.
Yeah, like you were saying, most of the guitar players out there not big fans of those platforms, and we'll see if that comes into play here. As right now, Dummy going up against Kylar Alice, who's deciding to stick with the Akuma.
Dummy looking for these strings. You can see he gets a bit started with the sidelight downlights, but he can't seem to find anything more. He's not going for these big reads on Kylar. Probably because he wants to stay safe himself. The N6s are already starting up. Kylar Alice hits one, and that's one for the marks.
All right, getting some good damage built up. Nice recovery pick up from Dummy. Got the read with that gravity cancel downlight into it. Offstage opportunity, goes for the ground pound.
And I'm loving the offstage we've been seeing. They're consistent with it. They always want to play offstage. You mentioned it earlier that Kylar was actually opting to stay offstage even though Dummy had the advantage state, and they've been turning it around.
Okay. They get back on stage just in time for a downlight recovery. Dummy able to clean it up, and this is an opportunity for Dummy to build a big lead here in game number 4.
Yep, Dummy finally finding himself in an advantage right from the start. He has the cards in hand,
nice.
And he has the reads of flowing. That's beautiful damage. Sends Kylar already into the light orange. Still getting these nairs. It's tapping on. It's tapping on.
Yeah, a huge 5-piece coming out from Dummy, and again, gets it with that second downlight. He is going for that read, and it's working out. Dummy's getting damage.
Slight miss input on his jump there. Stops the read from going as far as he'd like, but he is not scoffing at all. He picks up the sword, and now he's probably looking to get a KO for himself here. The Sarah is not going to do it. But Kylar Alice gets back on the map. He has the gauntlets in hand. He wants a KO too.
Yeah, I mean, that KO for Kylar Alice could even up the stock count, but right now Dummy's looking for a downlight recovery. Goes for the dare again, but doesn't get the bounce that he wants.
This time, not too much. Apocalypse has a high ceiling, so it makes sense not to go for the recovery right away, but this time he is going to go for that recovery, finding himself a 2-stock lead. Dummy's still on this 3rd stock. He is in the deep red. Kylar Alice is going to try and end that right away, but Dummy is just getting more and more damage.
Yeah, this is a huge lead for Dummy in game number 4, fighting to get into that game number 5. Kylar Alice, nice delay into the recovery.
Weapon start from Kylar Alice. He's going to keep the sword in hand. Maybe a little N-Sig action is what's going to bring him back in this game, but the crown pound is what's going to come out first. Gets punished on his way back.
Chase dodge into a down air coming out from Kylar Alice. Just finding some odd options to keep Dummy on his toes, but still damage in favor of Dummy.
Both players opting to get rid of their weapons, but Kylar Alice being the one to find the advantage with the unarmed. That's 3 hits now with no weapon. He picks up the gauntlets, and he gets an end light to punish Dummy's Sarah there. Catches him coming back to the map, but he doesn't find more than the nair. That nair is not the biggest damage in the world. Dummy on the other hand. We're not there yet.
Yo, he's playing Godly, right?
Yeah.
Like, just the guitar reads, the double down airs again from Dummy have been so good against Kylar Alice, but
ooh,
a nice punish there with the downlight, stuffing that side sig.
That's the stick we don't get to see a lot. I thought he was going to go the full map with it. You saw him start off on the left side. Downlight recovery is going to send him pretty far up. Kylar Alice trying to even up these stocks and find a way to win this game for himself. He's a full stock down still. Both players in the red at least.
Yeah, Kylar wants to close this out, go into grand finals, guarantee a top 2 finish, but Dummy fighting for that game 5 again. A downlight recovery might be enough. Like you said, high ceiling here, and Kylar Alice is going to even up the stock count.
Yep, the stock counts are finally even. Kylar clearing the board of these weapons. He needs a lot of damage here to win this game for himself, taking his seat in the grand finals. Dummy, he wants this game as well. Even up the set. Take it into a game 5. No one wants to be in the losers finals. No one wants to come back the whole grand finals shtick, you know, win the best of 5, then you have to win another one. No, they want it now. They want to sit up there comfortably. They want to say they're sitting on it. And Dummy, he gets the end light off. Kylar is so damaged. The end state get back on the stage. He's going to get punished immediately.
Yeah, Dummy able to take this to game number 5. Kylar Alice was starting to bring it back, but at the end of the day, Dummy just had built too much of a lead. So now game 5. Is this the opportunity? I know you're rooting for Dummy to make that 10-2 a 10-3.
This is a crazy set so far. I know back in my day, I don't want to sound old, but back in my day.
We used to walk 10 miles uphill, downhill in the snow.
Kylar Alice used to dominate this region. He used to take a lot of W's for himself, and he's still doing pretty well for himself, but Dummy is giving him a run for his money here. We're already seeing the switch to the Bodvar. Now, this is, what, the third switch? No, third switch off from the start. Character. So 4th character we're seeing for Kylar Alice here. He has the sword and hammer in hand. We know him very well for. he's got a lot of download off of Dummy's Asuri because Dummy hasn't switched off of it. Maybe you can say that's good for both sides, right? Dummy, he knows what he wants to do on this Asuri, but so does Kylar now, right?
It's tough for Dummy because you've basically gone through 3 forms of Kylar Alice to go into the final form, and this is just the ultimate boss of the Australian region.
Kylar Alice just leveling up with each character pick. This is his final form, the Bodvar. And, you know, every region loves their Bodvar. He's coming through, and Dummy, he's not making it look easy for Kylar Alice. He's adding up this damage already. The Qatar N-Sig is going to be his way backstage.
Yo, he gets away with it, though. That was a burn dodge and a gravity cancel N-Sig. Doesn't get the read with the downlight off the soft platform.
Kylar looking very dangerous with this sword. He gets that downlight recovery to get the KO off, but can we talk about that 3-piece he was going for earlier? The DI is going to get Dummy out just in time, luckily. Yeah,
worked out for Dummy, able to keep, able to stay alive for a brief moment, but Kylar Alice cleaned it up. But now Dummy's coming in, has the sword, and man, we have not seen his hammer.
Yeah, the hammer's looking dangerous. You can already see this, the GC downlights, a bunch of downlights actually, even off the side light. Side light and light from Dummy is going to be the first answer he has. He knocked out his recovery there. Can he find the edge guard? Doesn't find it. Kylar Alice is back on stage, and he's working himself a lead.
Yeah, he is building it very quickly with this hammer. Dummy with another recovery, not quite enough. Soft platform here, goes for the side air. Decided the recoveries weren't good enough. Yeah.
Weapon throw is going to confirm that edge guard. Dummy only in the dark orange here. Don't have my glasses on, so I can't get the exact color, but Kylar Alice is playing it out with the unarmed. Dummy has his chance. I keep wanting to say maybe it is just the play. He is playing godly, isn't he?
Yo, I mean, he's definitely bringing out the guitars, looking like godly, but he is behind. So it's Kylar Alice who's a little bit more, what is the deified at this point?
Dummy not doing too bad for himself, even though he is on the right of this stock. He's playing it out. He's finding more hits than Kylar is. But the thing is, with hammer, any hit is the hit you're looking for. The dare is going to scoop him off to the top, and Kylar's sitting comfortably only on the light yellow of the stock. That was beautiful movement from Kylar there as he dashes off the platform, off the map to get that Sarah off. He's getting hit after hit.
He's starting to just show off tech against Dummy. Dummy, more than a full stock behind. This is going to be tough if Dummy wants to go into the grand finals.
Kylar just kind of floating around, stomps Sarah to the right, looking to get this edge guard off. Ooh, Dummy with a beautiful exhausted recovery to make space for himself. Dare.
Needs a little bit more than a recovery at this point. Kylar Alice kind of playing with his food with that movement.
That stomp, Sarah isn't going to be able to find him just because the stomp was too close. N-Light is going to come out instead, and Dummy's fighting his way back to stage. And oh, wow. Kylar just going for that weapon throw, messes up his movement, doesn't end up touching the wall.
Yeah, little known fact is that you can't really move when you're charging up the weapon toss, and actually halts some of your movement when you do the throw. So
now,
works out for Dummy.
This is it here. Dummy, they're all on their last stocks. Dummy really wants to even up this damage. You can see he's going for it. He sends Kylar to the left side, and he keeps up the starvation.
Spectator.
That's on our end.
That's okay. Yep.
Back on the map.
Still live. No one
keeping the guitars in hand. The Sarah is going to send him off. You could just see how damaged he is if unarmed Sarah sent him that far. The hammer is now in hand. The dares come through. The hammer, that's the weapon, and there it is. Dummy is going to get knocked off the top by Kylar Alice, who takes it in a Game 5 situation.
Kylar Alice cleans it up. 3-2. He's going to go into the grand finals. Of course, he's PR #1 for a reason, turning that 10-2 into an 11-3 set count. And Kylar Alice, he's looking ready to get that flight to the midseason championship.
Right, and that was a lot of switching from Kylar Alice there. It's actually really interesting to see how he can keep up that play and learn while he's playing, but also switching characters the entire time. Every time you switch a character, you have to learn that character's stats, you have to learn the moveset, and you have to learn the SIGs. He wasn't just on the same weapons for the most part. So seeing him switch, even though it was a lot of sword characters, how he tried to use the SIGs. We saw a lot of Bodvar down SIG edge guards. We saw a lot of space creation with the Koji down SIGs. It's a lot of play coming out from Kylar Alice, and it's good to see that he's